everybody, welcome to today's video. I'm super excited to introduce to you the newest educational series on our channel called Heart Smart Kids. This is in partnership with First 5 Calaveras. So today it is ages and stages from first steps to feelings. This is an introduction to physical and social emotional development. Today we're talking about how young children ages birth to 5 grow emotionally, socially, and physically. You may hear the term social emotional learning, which is a term that we use to talk about how kids learn to express their feelings, make friends, and handle tough moments. It starts way earlier than many people think. Even newborn babies are learning how to connect. We'll be talking more about what social emotional learning is, how it ties into physical development, and then we'll break it down year by year as to what you can expect for your kiddo's development. So what is social emotional development? So social emotional learning, or SEL, is how children learn to understand their feelings, get along well with others, and deal with challenges. From the time that kids are born, they're picking up emotional cues from us. How we speak, how we touch them, even how we look at them. SEL helps children build self-confidence, learn empathy, and make good choices. It's just as important to learn these skills as it is to learn to read or to count. So one example is when a toddler goes, "I'm mad," instead of throwing something or hitting somebody, that's SEL in action. Or when a preschooler shares their toy or comforts a friend, they're using those SEL skills. Kids also don't just pick this up on their own. They learn it from daily life from the time that they're born, especially through their relationships with caregivers. So the way that we talk, play with them, and respond to their big emotions really matters. Now, physical development and emotional growth go hand in hand. When babies start to move, like rolling, crawling, or walking, they begin to explore their world. But they still come back to their caregiver for comfort. This back and forth dynamic helps babies build trust and feel safe. As kids learn to talk and move more easily, they can express their needs and feelings better. They cry less and communicate more, which also reduces frustration for everybody. Even play helps with emotions. Running, climbing, or playing games teaches kids how to share, take turns, and handle being told no. It's practice for handling life's ups and downs. Also, at this stage, the brain is growing so fast. A big part of emotional control, like being able to calm down or being able to be patient, comes from the brain. Kids need our help to learn those skills. When we stay calm and supportive, their brain and their body both learn how to do the same. Now that we've got our background information, let's break it down year by year. So year 1, this is the first year of life. And in this year, babies grow so quickly, both in their bodies and in their emotions. Physically, they're learning to lift their heads, roll over, sit up, and by the end of that first year, maybe they're crawling, standing, or even walking. But what's happening emotionally is just as important. This is when babies learn who they can trust. So when you feed them, hold them, and respond when they cry, you're teaching them that they're safe and that the people around them will take care of them. They start to smile socially, that's about 2 months in, make eye contact, and respond to your voice or your touch. These are their small ways of saying, "I feel connected with you." They're also learning how to calm down with your help. So when you rock or sing to them, their body learns how to settle down. At this stage, the most important thing is showing up with love, comfort, and consistency. This isn't a stage to worry about teaching too many skills. Get your basics down with their physical development, but show up with comfort, show up with love, cuddle them. That's what they need at this stage. Now we are in year 2. So at this point, your baby has grown so much, learned so many things, and they're completely different than they were a year ago. In year 2, you officially have a toddler. At this stage, they're becoming more mobile and independent. They're walking, climbing, they might even be running. They're also learning to feed themselves and using their hands to explore and play more. Emotionally, this is also where we start to see what we call big feelings. Toddlers do not have the capacity to handle frustration. So this is where we start to see tantrums, which is completely normal for this age. They also start to say no, a lot, but that's part of learning who they are. It's not a bad behavior necessarily, but it is part of their building independence. At the same time, they're also watching you very closely. They're monitoring how you react to situations and copying your behaviors. At this stage, you can really help them with their emotional development by naming their feelings. So if you know that they got mad because they couldn't have like a third cookie, then you're mad because you wanted more cookies. Or if they're sad because maybe mom or dad have to go to work, you're sad because mom or dad had to go to work. Just naming the feeling and why they're feeling that way. It's also important to stay calm during those tough moments. They don't need you to fix everything. They just need you to be steady and supportive. So now we enter into year 3. This is usually called the language explosion year. Kids at this age are starting to put more and more words together and using language to express themselves. Physically, they're refining their motor skills, so jumping, running, building, and climbing, usually better than they did the year before. Emotionally, they're starting to name things like happy, sad, or mad. They're also practicing how to play near or with other kids. It might not always go smoothly, and that's okay. Sharing and taking turns are still new and hard. This is also a great time to start introducing calming tools. So taking deep breaths, taking a break, or using a comfort item when they're really upset. Also using books or puppets to talk about their feelings can really help build those skills. At this age, kids still need your help to manage their feelings though. Staying calm, sticking to routines when necessary, and celebrate when they use their words to express themselves. The more that they're communicating with you their wants, needs, and feelings, the less frustration both of you are going to have. Year 4 is the friendship and empathy year. So at this age, physical skills are getting sharper, kids are climbing confidently, hopping, and they may even be dressing themselves. They're also using their hands for more detailed tasks like drawing shapes or stringing beads. Emotionally, they start to care a lot more about friendships. You'll see more group play and pretend play. They also begin to show empathy, like comforting a friend or noticing when somebody is sad. They're also learning about rules and limits, but they still need reminders and patience. This is a great time to teach simple social problem-solving skills, like how to say, "Can I have a turn?" or "That hurt my feelings." You can support them by practicing feeling words, asking how they think others feel, and praising kind behavior when you see it. These small moments help to build emotional intelligence that lasts. By the 5th year of life, children are often preparing for kindergarten. They can balance now, skip, cut with safety scissors, and dress themselves a lot more effectively. Their physical independence really is showing here. Emotionally, they also begin to experience more complex feelings, such as embarrassment, pride, or jealousy. They're also better at managing their emotions. They still need help sometimes, though. At this age, kids can follow routines, play games that have rules, and solve simple conflicts socially with some support. They're becoming more aware of other people's perspectives, which is a big step in their social development. At this stage, you can support them by giving them small responsibilities, practicing problem solving, and letting them talk through their emotions. They're also still watching you and how you handle stress too. So modeling calm behavior still really matters at this stage. Now we also can't forget about parents during these years of development. Parenting is hard work, especially in the early years. That's why it's so important to also care for yourself along the way. This slide is really just gentle and kind reminders for yourself. So in year 1, it is okay to slow down. You're still learning your baby, you're learning how to be a parent, your baby's learning about you and the world and how to be a human. That's a lot. That is a lot to learn in just a year. So accept help when you get it, ask for help when you need it, sleep when you can, and try to let go of perfect, because perfect is unattainable. What your baby needs from you at this stage is love, comfort, and consistency. As long as you and baby are both taken care of, that is the most important thing. In year 2, big feelings are normal for you and for your little one. Take deep breaths before reacting. I know the toddler years can be very frustrating. And walk away safely when you need a moment. It is okay to take a break. In year 3, if you haven't done so already by this point, this is a great time to connect with other parents. Going to a play group like a Mommy and Me class, going to any of the events that they usually have at First 5, trying to connect with other caregivers, at least to have somebody to talk to who knows what you are going through. The toddler years are so hard, they can be frustrating. Sometimes we just need somebody who gets it. So connecting with other people. You're also going to see a lot of, limit pushing behaviors, and that's normal. In year 4, we got to remember to stay calm. Our calm is their calm. Using calming skills for ourselves teaches them how to use calming skills. And in year 5, you need to celebrate how far you've come. Oh my gosh, by this point you're a pretty well-seasoned parent. You've been through all of the ups and downs of toddlerhood. Your little one is getting ready to go to school. There's a lot to celebrate. And maybe when your kiddo's in school, that's the time to start making more intentional time and space for yourself. And remember, you are still learning and growing too. As much as it is their first time on this planet, it is also your first time here too. And it's okay to ask for support. We have a lot of great local resources. We'll get to that in a couple slides. But if you need help, definitely ask. So what are some everyday things that we can do to help kiddos build their emotional development? To start, a great tool is naming the emotion. You're sad because your toy broke. That helps kids to understand emotions and to also label what they're feeling. Also, modeling calm yourself. So taking a deep breath or saying things like, I'm feeling stressed, so I'm going to pause. Kids learn by watching. If we're showing them how we calm ourselves, they're going to learn how to calm themselves. Also, keeping consistent routines. Routines help kids to feel safe and makes transitions easier. Another thing is offering choices. So do you want the red cup or do you want the blue cup? This gives them a sense of control and also helps them in their decision-making skills and reduces power struggles. I think the most important thing on this list is play. Play together. Pretend play teaches empathy and problem-solving skills. Building or playing with others teaches social skills. Play is so important because play is how kids understand the world around them. It's how they make sense of what they experience or what they learn. So if you take anything away from this, play with your kiddo. Also, reading books with them, talking about emotions, asking them how the characters in the books feel. That also helps teach social skills. And creating a calm down space at home with cozy items or tools like soft toys or a feelings chart. Using this maybe in lieu of timeouts. Really when a kiddo's tantruming, we shouldn't be punishing that. They're just struggling with some big feelings. But if we give them a space to calm down and they know to use that space when they feel upset again, it really, really helps them to learn how to regulate those difficult feelings. Most importantly, we want to notice things that are going well and praise their efforts. Saying things like, "You tried really hard to wait your turn," that builds confidence and resilience and encourages them to do it again in the future. We have a lot of great local resources in the community to support childhood development and parental well-being. There's First 5 Calaveras. They offer a lot of services and tools for early learning and development. The Resource Connection, they help to connect families with childcare support, parenting resources, and access to basic needs. WIC, Women, Infants, and Children, they offer nutrition support, help with breastfeeding, and food benefits for pregnant women and families with young children. The Center on the Social and Emotional Foundations for Early Learning has helpful activities and tips for teaching young children about emotions and social skills. They also break it down by age so you can choose the most age-appropriate resource. Pathways.org is fantastic. It is a great free resource for checking on your child's physical and emotional development. And they also have a ton of developmentally appropriate games and activities that you and your child can do together. Head Start and Early Head Start provide free or low-cost early education programs with a strong focus on social and emotional growth, especially for families with lower incomes. Nexus Youth and Family Services supports families with young children through our PC Care and HeartSmart Kids program. We also have other services. This QR code will take you to a link for all of our upcoming events and library programs. Also, if you need further support, there is Calaveras County Behavioral Health, and if you are a resident of Amador County and you are watching this, then Amador County Behavioral Health as well. We also have a couple surveys. If you guys wouldn't mind scanning the code, taking the survey, giving us feedback on what you thought of the presentation, just really helps us figure out how we can best support the community. And thank you so much for watching this. We hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Check us out. You can see our YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you for the next video.